And you know what's amazing? Remember, there were people at this tomb, that saw all of this happen, right? Remember those guards that fainted. Now, of course, when someone faints, they're not dead, so they have to get back up, right? So they got back up. They did. But you know, when you faint, sometimes you don't forget what you saw. You still remember those things, right? So let's look at verse 11, the same chapter 28, verse 11. It says, while the women were on their way, some of the guards went into the city and reported to the chief priest everything that had happened. When the chief priest had met with the elders and devised a plan, they gave the soldiers a large sum of money. Some scripture says a bribe and so forth, telling them, you are to say, his disciples came during the night and stole him away while we were asleep. Now it's so foolish. This lie makes absolutely no sense. How do you know who came to steal his body if you were asleep? So it makes no sense. How do you know it was his disciples that came and stole the body, but you were asleep? You're asleep, so you're partially, dead while you're sleeping. You can't see anything. So how do you know who came? So it makes absolutely no sense. It's BS, right? It makes no sense. And if this report gets to the governor, don't worry about it. We will satisfy him and keep you out of trouble. We'll take care of it. So the soldiers took the money and did as they were instructed. And this story has been widely circulated among the Jews to this very day. Wow, this guy must be very special. He's so special that his resurrection, these guards that were not part of his group saw what happened, told the chief priest that they took a large sum of money. They were willing to spend so much money to silence these people from preaching the gospel, from stating what Jesus has been talking about all the while, what the ancient days, the prophets like Isaiah has been prophesying about. They said, you know what? If anyone come after you guys, we will handle it. Wow. If he wasn't so special, why would they do such a thing? See, Satan is willing to spend so much amount of money to silence the gospel, while we as Christians, we are fighting and crying over paying tithe, over giving offering, talking about the pastors eating our money, the churches eating our money. While Satan is willing to spend any amount of money to make sure that you do not know that there is a risen God, a risen King. Up to this day, there are people who have yet to believe that Jesus is alive. Up to this day, there's people who are still saying, that's a fairy tale, because of this story right here, because of what these soldiers did, because of what this chief priest did. If Satan is willing to spend so much money to silence the gospel, baby, let me tell you something. There is no amount of money that you should not be willing to give to make sure that this gospel is preached. Don't let anyone tell you to stop talking about your Jesus. Is it in the workplace? Is it at schools? In the public transport? Is it in hospitals? Don't let anyone tell you to stop talking about him. That is why he is so special. Because we serve a God that is not dead. We serve a God that is alive. He is well. We serve a God that if you go to that tomb, he is not there. He has risen like he said he would. Show me any other God that these people are talking about and see if they rose up. Now, I don't know if you know much about Scientology, and I don't practice or whatever stuff like that, but I do know their major leader, I think his name is Huber or something like that. They're saying that he died, he left, I don't know if you, this is video I watched of the current leader, David Muskagi or something like that, how he said that Herbert has left, his body has gone to prepare something, whatever, for his coming, that up to now, his followers are waiting for him to be resurrected. This man died many years ago, I think in the late 90s, many years ago. If you go in his grave, go to that cemetery, dig it up, his bones are still there. Go to the tomb of Jesus Christ. He's not there. He has risen like he said he would. Now, if anyone else ever comes to you and says, what is so special about this Jesus? You let them know that he is alive. That he is a God that is alive, and every other God is deader than dead. That is what makes him special. That is the God that we serve. That is the resurrected King. That is the King of glory, that now he has risen above. All principalities and powers are beneath him. That at the mention of that name, because of what he did, at the mention of that name, every knee shall bow, every tongue confess that Jesus Christ is the Lord. That is one of the reasons why he is the way. There was no other way to heaven. There was no other way. He is the truth. He is the life. He is the way. That is what makes your God, my God, special and different. Ain't that good? That was good, wasn't it?